Just because you've been made to feel that the world doesn't care about you, that the next person doesn't care about you, the next situation doesn't care about you, doesn't mean that you shouldn't. Those are not in there. They're not in here and they're not in here. You should always care about yourself first and foremost, regardless of all those things. And it shows still in the things that you do and the fact that you're still around. So take that as a starting point. You obviously care a little more than you give yourself credit to. Maybe it's not at the point where you'll self-heal. Maybe it's not the point where you open your eyes. But at least I would definitely strongly recommend you being you. You know, outside of anything anyone tells you, any way anybody makes you feel, the situation that you may find yourself in, who knows? All those things may be turned around simply because you never faltered. You just kept pushing through and kept going forward. Regardless of how anybody told you to be, regardless of how you feel, you should be based on those standards that have been placed upon you. And that's the other thing, standards. Whose? Why? Even when they are placed, even when they are suggested for a given situation, I see them as guidelines. Yeah, that just means I have to adjust myself to be malleable around those guidelines. That doesn't mean I have to stop being who I am at any point. Despite how much I've held back in the past with certain capabilities that I uniquely have, just the same as you all have your own unique abilities, there were points where I still found a lot of strength in that. Unapologetically. And those were usually the points where people thought I was at my most weird or strange or different. Did I care? So, if they did really care, they'd be right beside me helping me out. Think about it, like all those situations you've been in where you could have handled something the way that you would have handled it, and it could have played out completely different, but you held back because of other people's standards, guidelines, thoughts, understandings. Call it what you will. It wasn't you. A bit disappointing when you tell you that. It wasn't you, at the reins, at the wheel, handling everything. Why? Is that what you want? That's how you want to live your life? Is that how you would like things to be? No, not me. I want to move forward. I want to live my life the way I want to, which is basically just me being happy. And that's me showing that through how I care about people, how I handle certain situations, how I stick to my convictions. I rarely expect these things from other people because I'm 43. I've seen how people can be. But if you genuinely come into it in such a way, it's going to be met with exactly the same energy. You're going to get all the love. You're going to get all the attention. You're going to be in my peeps. You're going to be my bro. The point is, it doesn't have to be to the point where you have to always conform to whatever everybody else wants, whatever the world wants. And it can start with the smallest things. Before I was talking about with the distractions that are around us. They play a big part. Everything. Think of it as like an integrated web of interconnection. It all plays a part. And you've been conditioned to believe that all of it's separate and doesn't make a deal. And even if you do see the web, you've been also conditioned to understand that there's very little that you could do to get out of it, get around it, or or not let it affect you. It was never outright said, but look at your daily behavior. Look how you carry yourself. Any point that you hesitate in choices that you make, that would normally come from here, a form of expression for yourself. Where does that come from? Did you teach yourself that? Was it all just you teaching yourself that? Or was it conditioned into you? Just thought. Love you guys.